Hello, hello. Welcome to Sherry Joy Collier's channel. I would like to talk today about anxiety. I know that pretty much every human being has dealt with anxiety at some point or another, maybe even on a regular basis. And so I thought I'd just do a quick little overview, give maybe one tip for anyone out there who's experiencing anxiety, even panic attacks. So first of all, I just wanted to remind you, if you haven't already, click like and subscribe to the channel, and that'll help get the word out to other people who may need to hear some encouragement for when they're feeling anxious. So I just also wanted to remind you that, number one, Jesus Christ loves you so very much. And if you will be faithful to call out to him when you're feeling anxious, then he will be faithful to be present with you. And you have to keep that in your mind. You have to remember that, because we forget that. We forget it so much. I know I can speak from experience. When I'm kind of in the throes of emotions, whatever emotion it is, whether it's anxiety or, fear or depression or whatever it is, you forget kind of to call out to Jesus in that moment. We think that we're supposed to just immediately figure out, where is this coming from? Where is this emotion coming from? How do I make it stop, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the very first thing to remember. And of course, right as I started this video, a neighbor started mowing their lawn. So hopefully you can still hear me okay. I'll lean into the camera a little bit more. One of the things to know about anxiety is that when our anxious feelings are up and working overtime, there are parts of our brain that are activated, maybe even overactivated, and those parts of the brain, we want to help calm them because that will help to calm your whole nervous system. There are several ways to do this, but one of them is to use breathing. And I want to explain why. So when we're anxious, if you can kind of think about if someone were out in the forest and they saw a big black bear heading towards them, your whole system kind of goes into either fight or flight or flight mode. And what your body does for you when you're in fight or flight mode is it shuts down your digestion, it narrows your vision, kind of gets rid of your peripheral, it kind of helps you kind of focus in on what you're supposed to be focused in on so that you can survive whatever is going to come next. Once you get away from the bear, or you don't have that situation going on anymore, your body should start to calm down and come back into its normal state of being, and your digestion starts back up and your body can go back into repair mode. All of that stops when you're in fight or flight. And sometimes the problem is we get stuck in fight or flight mode. So especially if someone has been struggling with anxiety for a long time, that usually indicates that your body, some part of your body and your mind, has been stuck in fight or flight mode for a very long time. So we have to signal to the body that you're safe, that the bear isn't there anymore. And the bear I'm just using to represent whatever stressor it was that caused this anxiety to come rushing up in the first place. So the best thing you can do the minute that you start to feel any anxiety creeping in anywhere is to start with just 3 nice, slow, deep breaths. So take the inhale in through the nose. You can blow out through your mouth or through your nose. The exhale doesn't matter that much. But if you breathe in nice and slow through your nose, and you picture a beautiful color of blue coming in on the inhale, and picture that blue just kind of filling up your head and your body, And then when you exhale, picture all the stress, all the stale air from your lungs is leaving. If you'll do that 3 times, you don't want to do it more than that, because if you take a lot of deep breaths in a row, you could start to feel very lightheaded and pass out. But if you just do 3 nice slow ones, so it would literally kind of go like this. You see how slow that was? It wasn't like, so you really purposely slow it down. You breathe in through your nose, which cools the oxygen, which signals to the limbic system of your brain that, oh, we've got oxygen coming in kind of a nice, slow manner. And then your lungs fill up. And then when you exhale all the way out, you're getting rid of all that stress and stale air. You're beginning to signal to your body and your mind system, the whole system, that you don't have to be in fight or flight, that you're safe. So breathing is an actual signal to your brain. So when you notice that you're feeling anxious, or you're feeling fearful, or you're in a situation where you have to run, immediately the breathing becomes shallow and your shoulders kind of start inching up towards your ears a little bit and you're tensing. So when you purposely like, okay, shoulders go down, it's okay. And then you breathe that nice, slow, deep breath, you're actually giving instructions to your system that it's okay, that it can go back to digesting food, it can go back to repairing muscles and tissues and all the things that your body is supposed to be doing when you're not fleeing or fighting. So that's tip number 1 with the breathing. Actually, that's tip number 2. Tip number 1 was call out to Jesus. And so now we're going to move back to Jesus. We've got tip number 1, call out to Jesus. Tip number 2, use your breathing to signal to your body that you're not in fight or flight, that you are in fact safe. And then tip number 3 is, where do you have your focus on a regular basis? People who tend to run on the anxious side tend to be focused on things that have to do with their life, their daily life, things they have to get done, things that are coming in the future that they're not sure how it's going to work out, that sort of thing. So you want to purposely change your focus. And you have to do this daily, consistently, for several weeks before your brain can get into a new habit. So the best way to change your focus is to focus on the character traits of God. So instead of focusing on, okay, me, and I got to do this, and I got to pay my bills, and I got to make this happen, we're going to instead replace all those thoughts with, okay, let me think of another character trait of God. And there's many. You're never going to run out. Let's pick one. Let's say, okay, I know that God is all-knowing. He knows everything. He's above everything. He sees everything from Alpha to Omega, beginning to end. He knows everything. And then what I would do is I would actually look up, and you can Google it, Bible verses talking about God's omniscience, or God's kindness, or God as the good shepherd, or God as king, God as merciful. Whatever the character trait is that you want to focus on that day, look up a couple of supporting scriptures to really cement that in your mind, and then purposely think about God and that character trait several times throughout the day. Hopefully morning, noon, and night, at least 3 times. But anytime your brain is shifting into, oh no, I got to get this done, and is this going to work out? Just immediately go, wait a minute, whoa. I'm going to focus on God right now. And when you focus on God and his traits, especially if you do this over the period of a month and you focus on a different character trait every day of that month, by the end of that month, you are going to be more well-versed about who God is. It's going to strengthen your relationship with him, and it's going to take your focus off of yourself and your worries and it's going to put it onto your focus onto your very big, awesome God. And that is the long-term answer to anxiety. So I hope that this was helpful to you, and if it was, share it out there with a friend, and I will do another video shortly. Probably come back to do some art. I might even do an expressive arts therapy exercise to help further calm anxiety and kind of work with it and find out where it's coming from. But that'll be in another video. So thank you very much for watching this. Sherry Joy Collier signing off. Have a great day.